Hi, my name is Terry Vaughn. I'm the Executive Director of the Clement Railroad Hotel Museum here in Dixon. We cannot begin to tell you how important it is for young people to learn about the history of the community and what we have built on and how the community is built on. Because if we don't know where we've come from, we'll never know where we're going. So what I would encourage anyone looking at this practical process as far as putting local, regional history inside the curriculum, you will gain so much more as a community. So much more as young people having the direction and foundation of what this community has instilled in them naturally. It will benefit you for years and years to come. Thank you, and I appreciate your consideration.
Local history is important because you need to know where you've come from and pass that information on to future generations.
I believe local history is important because your average everyday person doesn't always know what their county came from. And I believe in order to go off into the world and learn about who you are as a person, you also need to learn about who your county is and what it stands for, because where you come from builds who you are.
Local history is very important to me because it has a great impact on our lives. Their direct impact in local ordinances, etc., has a much larger impact than does the decisions of our national government.
Do I believe that local history of our county and of the state are important for children to learn in school? Yes, I feel very strongly about this, and I have some reasons. One is that when you learn the history of your state and of your county, you can feel more connected to it. It feels familiar. It feels more like home. And so as you grow up, this is a place you want to stay or come back to. This is where you want to come back to after school, after college, and begin to work here and support the community you were raised in. When you can make a connection to your past because of knowing your family's history or the county's history, then you begin to feel one there. You want to bring people in and show them around. And I think that's important. And we also we look at the past, we realize their successes and their failures, and we realize too that we have successes and we have failures, and we can get up and go on from them. We don't have to fall apart. And looking back at our history, we can see places where the government might have made mistakes or the state park system was changed, and we're glad for it. We see how the improvements were done, and we learn from those things. We also had to understand why we are like we are now. We have a present bent towards farming or towards industry, and it came from the past. It's where the geography and how our families grew up, and these are things that we cling to. We remember for our children. And yes, we sometimes want to leave old ways behind, but we still see the influence of them, understand the purpose of them, and it helps us to know the history of the people we might consider our heroes, the governors from the past, the ones who made mistakes and rose up from them, the ones who did great jobs. Some of our heroes like Davy Crockett, who went down and fought in the Alamo and died there. We remember him with pride, that he had a strong character and he was able to carry out his dreams, and it makes us want to rise up and do the same. Thank you.
It's important to know our local background because it's where we come from, and a lot of our families originate in Dixon.
The question is asked, why is local history important? Any history, whether it's local or national, is important because from it we learn the lessons that we need to have to improve ourselves in the future. And if we keep making the same mistakes, we're not learning anything. But that's the ground roots. Local is the ground roots of starting everything.